Hi, good morning, Aman, and welcome to this exclusive one-on-one session at PolyNext 2025. And I'm delighted to host this discussion on the future of sustainable plastics. Today we have with us Aman Kulshrestha, the CTO at Emirates Biotech. And Emirates Biotech is the first company in the Middle East and India to market and manufacture PLA biopolymers, an innovative, recyclable, and biodegradable alternative to traditional plastics with a significantly lower carbon footprint. Aman, thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to hear your insights on PLA biopolymers, sustainability, and the circular economy. Let's dive right in.
Thanks for the invite, and excited to talk about our vision and mission.
Sure. So to start, I'd love to hear about the foundations of the Emirates Biotech. So my first question would be, can you share the inspiration behind starting Emirates Biotech and your mission to market and manufacture PLA biopolymers in this region?
So if you look at the plastic consumption in GCC countries, it's a fairly big market. For instance, take Dubai. Dubai is one of the world's leading tourist destination. You have lots of tourists coming here, lots of expats, which is about 90% of the population. So the demand for the plastics, especially if you look at the food packaging, right? Everybody cares about food service, delivery so fast. So you can see that all has led to a huge consumption of plastic here. Over-reliance of fossil fuels, and then resulting in the greenhouse gas emissions. And now we're talking about the global warming. The other effect you can think about is the plastic pollution, right? So there are consequences, and I think everyone has realized it. UAE is becoming the leading power here with the COP28 hosted here. They have the vision to be net carbon zero by 2050. So I think that's a fantastic inspiration for us, a great market and great drive in people to transition to this circularity. And thanks to the support of the royal family, we are going to be the first one of our kind to bring this biopolymer PLA solution to UAE, and excited to help the folks here transition to our sustainable solution.
Definitely, and I wish you all the best, achieving the success that Emirates Biotech is aiming for. So, Aman, my next question would be, PLA biopolymers are positioned as a game changer in sustainability. How do they compare to traditional fossil-based plastics in terms of performance, cost, and scalability?
Great question, Fareed. I would start, even in the performance, I would start with the sustainability first. I think we have to change that mindset, that sustainability has to be accounted or at least considered as key criteria within performance. Okay. So with PLA, we're talking about anywhere from 30 to 70% footprint reduction, carbon footprint reduction when compared to the traditional plastics. PLA is used in a wide variety of applications. We have 3D printing, food packaging, non-wovens, biomedical applications. It's food safe. It is safe to be used in the medical applications. Switching gear to the cost, if you compare the technology, the production cost, we're talking about the technology used for the production. The yield to convert sugar to monomer, which in our case is a lactic acid, and then monomer to polymer. It's fantastic. Okay, we're talking about almost theoretical yield at this point. Then going from the plastic pellets to then final articles, which is the conversion from pellets to the fantastic. So yield-wise, the yield for the conversion of and production of these plastics are comparable. So cost-wise, we're not talking too much different versus the traditional plastics. I would tell you that compared to the traditional plastics, the market for this adoption of this PLA still is in infancy, right? It's still growing. It's a very new polymer. The story I always share with people is my ex-colleague. He actually mentioned to me his father worked in 1950s for the PET industry. And PET is currently used in, you take any beverage bottles, water bottles. It's one of the highly used polymer in plastic packaging. he used to say in 1950, son, we found really interesting polymer, but it's very expensive. So I'll tell you, mark my word, that just like every plastic, as the adoption on a global scale for PLA start to go up, economies of the scale is bound to drive the production cost down, further down. That's the journey every polymer takes, and PLA is going to take the same journey.
Definitely. So thank you so much, Aman, for answering that question. So yes, moving on. So like innovation is one of your core values. So what breakthroughs have you achieved in the development of your biopolymers, and how do they differentiate from other sustainable materials?
So if you talking about the innovation, I would say the biggest, one of the biggest announcement we just made is we're going to build the largest biopolymer polylactic acid production facility, 160,000 ton per annum. So first one to bring to the world. We have implemented the best engineering and design companies, and thanks to them. So for example, 𝐇𝐨𝐬𝐭, we just we licensed their technology. So in terms of the product quality, it will be the best, the world class. So in terms of the product quality, I would say that, we would be potentially superior than other competitors out there in other parts of the world, which are not using the latest technology, which is state-of-the-art technology. From the application point of view, I would say that in the last 20 years, there have been exciting applications developed for PLA. And we won't shy away from using maybe copy-paste approach initially to set our foot here and bring those applications to the UAE. So that would be something on the innovation. But later on, we try to develop new applications, collaborate with the universities globally as well as in the UAE to bring new solutions. Switching to the next, actually the questions that you asked me was, how is it different from the other sustainable solutions? Very good question. So if you look at PLA, like I said, there are some unique things about PLA when you compare to the other sustainable solutions. One, I said biodegradable, right? So ability to not create microplastics and nanoplastics. And we know that microplastics and nanoplastics have been a threat to our health as well as a whole ecosystem. So that's one unique feature. Safety has to be considered. And we are all over now COVID, but going back, we knew how freaked out we were using anything touching here and there, right? So other exciting feature about PLA is it's safe to use in food applications. It is safe to use in body applications. That's another unique feature about PLA. If you compare PLA with other new emerging, let's say, sustainable alternatives, the other unique thing about PLA is it's already well established, economically viable, and proven solution. So altogether, I think PLA brings very exciting offer in terms of offering a sustainable solution.
Awesome. So thank you so much for sharing the company's vision and the innovations that the Emirates Biotech have made. So now moving on to the challenges and a market approach. I think this is the most interesting part that I wanted to know of anybody that I'm interviewing. So yes, every industry faces challenges, especially when finding new solutions, right? So let's talk about that. So what challenges have you faced in establishing the first PLA biopolymer manufacturing facility in this region, and how have you overcome them?
So there are always challenges when you bring first of its kind to the world, but we have partnered with the best companies, really best partners for designing constructions and whatnot. We're also grateful to the support of the royal family of Dubai, right, for also providing the support to us. I would say one key aspect where we're really working on is the operational expertise, right? So this is a place where all the fossil-based polymer production, really the expertise thrives. If name any expertise related to those plastics operations, you have it here. But PLA is a different polymer. So right now, I would say we are working on bringing the right talent that would offer that operational skill set here. So that's one. The second one I would say that is again, if you look at the converters, right? So if you have the plastic, we will provide the polymer pallets. Then the pallets need to be converted into final articles such as cups, cutleries, the tea bags, etc. Right? So these converters here right now, there's a lot of expertise. Again, all focused on processing traditional plastics. Okay. So now we're asking them to switch from using traditional plastics to a different polymer, which has, I would say, more distinctive characteristics. So in that regard, Emirates Biotech is committed to provide comprehensive technical support for these converters to then transition from, switching from these traditional plastics to there.
Great. So, okay, what industries or applications do you see as the biggest adopters of PLA biopolymers, and how do you plan to drive adoption in these sectors?
So, like I said, Fareed, there's a number of applications where PLA is already adopted and commercially accepted. But I would say the two where we see fastest adoption here, one would be food packaging. Like I mentioned, Dubai has, there's a lot of expats, tourists. In order to support all the needs, people are now actually becoming more used to switching to fresh, more convenient food packaging solutions and the products. So I see where PLA could be a game changer in that area, food packaging application. Like I said, it's food contact approved. And also what it does there also is in the food packaging application, it has right mechanical properties, right barrier properties for the packaging and shelf life. So together, I think it makes it an excellent choice in the food packaging. The second one, I think where PLA you'll start to see more applications there is in 3D printing. Okay, don't know if you've heard, but Dubai actually has aim to establish as a 3D. It has its own 3D printing strategy, and which they aim to become established as the global hub for 3D printing by, I believe, by 2030. And I think we really believe that PLA has really good role to play here. It is stiff, mechanical properties are great, excellent printability, high definitions, and you can create a prototype with great details. When you do the printing, the emissions are very low. It doesn't create the smells that you see with the other plastic products. So altogether, I would say that 3D printing would be another exciting area where we'll start to see.
Me being an engineer, I know.
I don't know. So one thing more I would mention that I don't know if you've been to Samba Sushi restaurant here in Dubai. Great food, by the way, fantastic. If you go look at the ceiling, that's already done beautifully by PLA in Dubai.
I'll definitely visit that restaurant once I get to Dubai. So yes, I was saying that the second thing that you have mentioned, like in the 3D printing, right? So being an engineer, I know what are the problems that we have faced designing a prototype or completing a prototype. So yes. Okay, now moving forward with the discussion. So your company emphasizes enabling sustainability and protecting the environment, right? So what initiatives do you have in place to ensure your products contribute to a true circular economy?
That's excellent. You provide. So really exciting thing about PLA is it has various way to be, the end lives to be managed. It can be mechanically recycled, just like traditional plastics. It can be chemically recycled, meaning polymer can be converted into monomer very easily because it's a polyester. The third very exciting end of life, which we talk about, is the compostability, right? So you give it the right conditions, the microbes, the temperature of water, and it breaks down to carbon dioxide, water, and blah, 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 right? So what we have done, so I have served in this industry for a very long time, and we will take responsibility to make sure our customers and the consumers, they're educated in terms of how they can manage the end of life in different applications, right? For example, the food that gets thrown with the food products, perhaps the composting is the best, end of life option there. or you have consumer applications where recycling, mechanical recycling, which is also already established, could be. So we take all the responsibility here to educate our customers so that they are aware how this needs to be managed in terms of the end of life management. We are also working with, I would say, the different value chain players across the whole value chain to make sure that, for example, we plan to partner up with the waste management companies, etc., to make sure that we have the logistic support also developed to ensure that our plastic ends up being seen in the right conditions for managing the end of life.
That's great. What role do government policies and corporate partnerships play in accelerating the shifts toward biopolymers, and how are you engaging with stakeholders to drive change?
I would say partnerships goes beyond corporate. We are talking about changing the world, Fareed. And what it's going to take is the partnership along the value chain. And when I say value chain, when you have, I don't know if you know, but right now I'm talking, introducing myself and meeting all the talent in the university in the UAE here. These are the tomorrow's people. They're shaping the world for us, right? So let's start there. The people, educating them, developing their talent, right? So going from the academics, then we have the converters, then we have the brand owners, then we have the distributors, then we have, like I said, waste management companies, right? Then you have the NGOs here also active. So you look at all the value across the value chain, the key stakeholders. Without that, it's not going to happen, right? And you can also find like-minded corporates. They're working together. Hey, our aim is same. Our solution might differ, but in the end, the aim is achieve zero carbon, right, emission. So we all have to work hand in hand to achieve this aim. Government is their help is very key, because what they can allow to establish these regulatory framework, and then they can incentivize so that people are encouraged to use these alternative solutions. So all in all, yes, partnership very important beyond corporate, and government support is really, really key in this transition.
Yes, definitely, because if you're looking at changing the world, so it's a work of hand in hand that should go. So there should be people, there should be companies, there should be individuals or the NGOs and many more of that should come in hand and look for the future, sustainable future along with every game. So yes, looking ahead, what are your long-term goals for Emirates Biotech, and are there upcoming innovations or expansions we should watch out for? This is an interesting question.
Yeah. Right. So for now, all hands on deck to design, to build our manufacturing plant. And right now it's scheduled to come online in 2028 Q1. Okay. So all hands on deck. We want to make sure we start to supply PLA out of our manufacturing plant by 2028 Q1. In between, we're also focusing on pre-marketing, right? Because we are actively building, I would say, PLA market ground up here, right? So we want to make sure we help our converter customers, we provide them polymer, which is going to be sourced from the third party, but made tailored to our specification, okay? So we want to focus on those two areas. But I can tell you that the vision of the investors who are involved here in Emirates Biotech, it's really big. I'm not surprised. There have already been discussions, exploring the options to go upstream, to go downstream. For instance, in future, I wouldn't be surprised if we are talking about investing in a compounding line down the stream, where you take PLA, you modify it, and design applications which are even, let's say, with accelerated biodegradation for, a wide variety of applications. Copolymers, right, which would enable new applications for the polymers. So I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing concrete right now, but yeah, I would not be surprised that in 10 years from now, you see Emirates Biotech actually offering a wider variety of product in its portfolio. So keep an eye.
Definitely, I'll keep an eye on Emirates Biotech, as well as I'll be keeping in touch with you guys. So we'll be collaborating for future events as well. So, and I wish you all the best, and to your company all the best for the work that they're doing, and they're planning for the vision, right. Okay, so as you know, sustainability is a key theme at PolyNext 2025. So how do you see events like PolyNext contributing to the global conversation, plastic recycling and sustainable packaging?
I think, Fareed, conferences such as PolyNext can play and are playing really important role. I'll give you an example that we were really surprised here meeting a lot of people, and they look at our products and they said, wait, is it renewable? It's not made from the fossil fuels, right? So there is just so much of need to educate people, to make them aware, hey, there are sustainable solutions available, and they're not sitting in R&D stage. This is a commercial reality today, right? So in terms of raising awareness to the consumer, in terms of promoting these options, alternative options, more circular solutions, in terms of also spreading awareness that how these products, their end of life should be managed, right? So that we're not littering the planet with our irresponsible behavior. So this is number of ways I think a conference like PolyNext can play important role in terms of that. Secondly, I would say that PolyNext can play important role by bringing all the like-minded and the industry players, I would say maybe the players along the value chain together, so that more strategic collaborations can be formed. Like I said, that this collaboration across the value chain will be the key to make this transition happen. So no pressure on you guys, Fareed. But yeah, I think this collaboration is.
We are trying best. We are trying our best to build a conference that gathers people, the like-minded peoples, industry experts, and everyone that is, as you mentioned, the value chain, associated in the value chain to the conference, to make this a success, and also to share the themes, goals, and everything that is needed for a sustainable future and plastic-free future, if I may say.
That's right.
So, Aman, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. It's inspiring to see how Emirates Biotech is leading the way in sustainable plastics and circular economy solutions. So, we look forward to seeing you at the PolyNext Conference, right? And so, hoping to see you at the future events also. So, thank you so much, Aman.
Thanks, Fareed. And I'm looking forward to attending the PolyNext Conference, meeting you in person, and connecting with the world here in UAE.
Thank you, Aman. Okay.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.